पडलेला प्रश्न आहे। तरी देखील जे जिंकले त्यांचं मी अभिनंदन करतो आणि ज्यांनी प्रामाणिकपणाने महाविकास आघाडीच्या उमेदवारांना मतं दिली त्यांना मी मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो। तसं पाहिलं तर एक जणू काही लाटेपेक्षा सुनामीच आली असं वातावरण या निकालाने दिसतंय। पण हा निकाल सर्वसामान्य जनतेला पटलाय की नाही हा सुद्धा एक महत्त्वाचा प्रश्न आहे। एकूण आकडे जे काय दिसत आहेत ते आकडे बघितल्यानंतर या सरकारला अधिवेशनामध्ये एखादं बिल मंजुरीसाठी मांडण्याची गरजच नाही असे आकडे आहेत। थोडक्यात विरोधी पक्षात जणू काही शिल्लक ठेवायचं नाही आणि 1-1.5 वर्षापूर्वी भारतीय जनता पक्षाचे तुर्तास असलेले अध्यक्ष JP नड्डा जे बोलले होते की एकच पक्ष राहील म्हणजे यांना वन पार्टी वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन आणि वन पार्टी या दिशेने आपली आगेकूच चालली की काय असं भीतीदायक चित्र आहे। एकूणच हा निकाल जर का बारकाईने पाहिला तर आम्ही ज्या काही प्रचार सभा घेतल्या संपूर्ण राज्यभर आम्ही सगळेच फिरलो। सुषमाताई आहेत, अनिल आहेत, आदित्य आहेत, संजय आहे, मी स्वतः आहेत। हा निकाल म्हणजे लोकांनी महायुतीला मतं का दिली? सोयाबीनला भाव मिळत नाही म्हणून दिली का? कापसाची खरेदी होत नाही म्हणून दिली का? महाराष्ट्रातले उद्योग गुजरातला नेले जातात म्हणून दिले का? महिलांची सुरक्षितता वाऱ्यावरती सोडले गेले म्हणून दिली का? म्हणजे नेमकं कळत नाही की कोणत्या प्रेमापोटी तर हा शब्द चुकीचा आहे, रागापोटी अशी ही लाट जणू काय उसळले हे कळत नाही आहे। हा निकाल अनाकलनीय आहे आणि याच्या मागचं गुपित हे काही दिवसामध्ये तर शोधावं लागेल। तूर्त मी महाराष्ट्राच्या जनतेला सांगतोय की आपण निराश होऊ नका, खचून जाऊ नका। काही जण म्हणतात की हा EVMचा विजय आहे, असूही शकतो, पण महाराष्ट्राच्या जनतेला हा निकाल मान्य असेल तर मग कोणीच काही बोलण्याची गरज नाही आहे। पण जर मान्य नसेल तर त्यांना सांगतो की आम्ही प्राणपणाने महाराष्ट्रासाठी लढत राहू, महाराष्ट्राच्या हितासाठी आम्ही लढत राहू। कोणी काही म्हटलं तरी महाराष्ट्राच्या जनतेला मी वचन देतो की आम्ही तुमच्यासोबत आहोत।
हा जो विजय आहे महायुतीचा लाडकी बहीणचा इम्पॅक्ट असल्याचं म्हटलं जाते।
लाडकी बहीणचा इम्पॅक्ट जर का असेल तर मग बाकीच्या ज्या काही गोष्टी या उघड दिसत होता, आपण सुद्धा रिपोर्टिंग केलेलं आहे। मी तेच म्हटलं ना की सोयाबीनला भाव नाही आहे, कापूस खरेदी होत नाही, शेतकऱ्याच्या डोक्यावरती कर्ज चढलेलं आहे, बेरोजगारी वाढते आहे, महिला असुरक्षित आहेत, ह्या अशा अनेक गोष्टी आहेत, बेकारी वाढते आहे। तर लाडकी बहीणपेक्षा ज्या महिला आमच्या सभेला प्रचंड संख्येने येत होत्या त्यांच्यासमोर प्रश्न होता की घर कसं वाढवायचं चालवायचं, कारण महागाई वाढते म्हणजे वाढती महागाईची शाबासकी म्हणून या सरकारला मत दिलं का? आणि आता मला एक असं वाटतं प्रामाणिकपणे हा टोमणा नाही की यावेळेला तरी अस्सल भाजपचा कोणतरी मुख्यमंत्री होईल अशी अपेक्षा आहे किंवा आशा आहे।
महाविकास आघाडीचं खूप चुकलेलं आहे असं वाटतं का?
महाराष्ट्र विकास आघाडीचं आम्ही फार प्रामाणिकपणाने वागलो हे चुकलं की काय असं आम्हाला वाटतंय।
अमरावती असेल, रामटेक असेल, सोलापूर असेल या जागेवरती महाविकास आघाडीचा
288 पैकी या मोजलेल्या जागा किती आहेत?
पण इकडे
288 पैकी
तिथे काँग्रेसने केदारने सरळ सांगितलं होतं की आम्ही अपक्ष उमेदवाराला
बरोबर आहे, पण 288 पैकी या जागा किती आहेत आणि अशाच काही जागा या त्यांच्याकडे पण आहेत। पण म्हणून मी म्हटलं ना की अशी लाट उसळले असं काय नेमकं यांनी काम केले ते तिथे दाखवा ना। पण आणखीन एक गोष्ट अशी आहे की ठीक आहे आता ते जिंकलेले तर आहेत, त्याच्यामुळे त्याच्यात मला त्यांचं अभिनंदन करण्यामध्ये मला कुठे कद्रूपणा दाखवायचं नाही आहे। मी त्यांचं अभिनंदन करतो आणि आता निवडणूक आयोगाने स्थगिती दिलेली लाडकी बहीण ही योजना पूर्ववत चालू करून त्याच्यात 2100 रुपये दर महिना ते द्यायला लागतील। शेतकऱ्यांचं कर्जमुक्त ते लवकर करतील आणि जी काही त्यांनी आश्वासनं दिलेत ती नंतर कोणी बोलू नये की असा जुमला तर निवडणुकीच्या वेळेला करावा लागतो। या सगळ्या आश्वासनांची पूर्तता त्यांनी लवकरात लवकर करावी अशी माझी मागणी आहे।
ग्राउंडवर फिरताना महाविकास आघाडीसाठी पोषक वातावरण दिसत होतं आणि इतका बदल अचानक लोकसभा निवडणूक झाल्यानंतर अवघ्या काही महिन्यात
हाच एक अनाकलनीय बदल आणि मला असं वाटतं की करोनाच्या काळामध्ये कुटुंब प्रमुखापर्यंत प्रमाणे माझं ऐकणारा महाराष्ट्र हा माझ्याशी असा वागेल याच्यावरती माझा विश्वास नाही आहे. कारण मी जे सांगत आलो त्याच तळमळीने याही वेळेला मी महाराष्ट्राला मनापासून तळमळीने सांगितलं होतं आणि असा.
All right, that was Uddhav Thackeray speaking there of the Shiv Sena. Remember, of course, he would be very disappointed with the performance of his party today and their alliance. Okay, let's now tell you a bit more about, of course, how the BJP won this election. The BJP combine in Maharashtra, how the Mahayuti alliance has swept Maharashtra. What is the inside story? What are the factors that have worked for them and obviously not worked for the opposition? So the inside story, of course, clearly is that the RSS BJP coordination has worked on ground. The RSS BJP coordination this time has been perfect on ground. The RSS, of course, has worked a lot in terms of booth management, election management for the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Mahayuti candidates. Also, the Ladki Bahin Yojana proved to be a huge success with women of the state. Women in Maharashtra have overwhelmingly voted for the Mahayuti alliance, and the credit of that is going to this particular scheme started by Eknath Shinde, Chief Minister of the state. The slogan "Ek rahenge to safe rahenge" also ensured unity. Obviously, that has led to Hindu vote consolidation as well, despite caste lines. Remember earlier in the Lok Sabha elections, we had seen a caste-wise breakup of the Hindu vote in Maharashtra and of course in other states of the country. Obviously in Maharashtra, in the Vidhan Sabha election this time around, that has not happened. No counter strategy could be given by the opposition. The opposition could not provide any counter narrative, any counter strategy to take on what the Mahayuti was saying, or of course the work that they were claiming that their government had done on ground in the state. Let's now tell you about what the inside story is in the Congress camp. What has led to this decimation of the Congress and the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi in the state of Maharashtra. So the Congress took up the campaigning very, very late in Maharashtra. It was a late start by the Mahavikas Aghadi. They were not able to start their campaign early. Their star faces were missing early in the campaign, and obviously that has cost them on ground. The caste census failed to resonate with voters in Maharashtra. Remember the big caste pitch being made by Rahul Gandhi, the pitch, of course, by opposition leaders for a caste-based survey, a caste-based census, that has not resonated with the voters on ground, with no real votes coming in on that issue for the Congress party. Also, increased dependency on top Congress leadership instead of local leadership focusing on ground. That is something also that has not worked for the Congress party. Obviously, their local leadership also has collapsed in the state, which is also something that didn't really help their cause. Alliance with Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray faction and NCP Sharad Pawar faction did not resonate with their voters. The alliance as such has not yielded votes. There was no cohesiveness. There was no vote transfer clearly happening. I don't think the seat sharing was done smartly as well either. Ticket distribution obviously will also be something that will be questioned by a lot of people. Meanwhile, the people blaming Prithviraj Chavan as well for not getting to people and remaining absent from the ground in the last 5 years. Remember, he himself has been trailing today and Prithviraj Chavan also being blamed by many for the Congress's disconnect with people on ground in the last 5 years. Also the criticism that their state leaders were absent and not really active on ground in the last 5 years. All right, joining us now live to decode this loss for the Congress party and the reasons for it is my colleague Anand Singh. He's joining us live from Mumbai. Anand, a decimation of the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi. What is the inside story? What are the factors that are being blamed for their loss? You are speaking to leaders of all three parties, mostly of course the Congress. What went wrong, Anand?
Yeah, Uday, look, if we talk about the dismissal of the Mahavikas Agadi and especially the Congress in Maharashtra, then the Congress was very overconfident over here after the Lok Sabha election results which came earlier this year, as the Congress managed to win 13 seats in the state. However, with the disconnect, the way in which the leaders, the local leadership got disconnected with the people over here on several issues, whether it was to deal with the Ladki Behan scheme, they could not manage to inform or make people aware that how its own governments in Telangana, Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh was providing the scheme of Mahalakshmi over there, in which the women were getting financial assistance. Remember, this was the scheme which was introduced by Congress first in Himachal Pradesh. However, despite the fact that bringing this scheme for the first time across the country, the Congress could not manage to convince the voters over here, especially the women voters who came out really in huge numbers in this election, and due to which the Mahavikas Agadi, which suffered a massive setback during the Lok Sabha elections, it sensed the public mood and it brought the scheme to get the support of the women voters in the state, and the result is clearly visible in front of everyone. And even the Congress dependency on the party's strategist and in surveys, this has also led to a mega disaster once again in Maharashtra. As earlier in Haryana, we have seen that how dependency on party strategist, similarly that was the case in Rajasthan also, and in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh too. So Congress approaching more and more poll strategists and putting more time on social media campaign and social media posts. So this has led to a complete disconnect between the grassroots workers, people of the state, and even it is disconnecting the party from the masses. So clearly its results are visible on the results that has come once again today, proving that the Congress is not only losing ground, but it is also losing its core voters in state after state. As if we talk about the regions in Maharashtra, Western Maharashtra, Vidarbha, these were called to be the stronghold of Congress. However, in both the regions of the state, the Congress has failed miserably, as even Prithviraj Chavan, who is one of the former chief ministers of the state and one of the tall leaders of Congress in Maharashtra, he too lost from the seat of South Karar in Satara. So this clearly indicates that how the Congress was losing. Even Nana Patole and Balasaheb Thorat. Balasaheb Thorat is said to be one of the grassroots workers of Congress. However, he too lost the elections. And similar was the case with Nana Patole, who despite setting a aggressive campaign in the state, he failed to resonate with the voters. He could not convince the voters for the party. And on the other hand, if we talk about the Mahayutis and especially the BJP's campaign in the state, it was very target oriented, and it was very to reach to the people of the state, the way in which they announced the a scheme of increasing the amount of the Ladki Behan Yojana from 1500 to 2100 just after the elections were announced. And the CM and most of the BJP leaders over here, they clearly mentioned that how the Mahavikas Agadi governments, especially the Congress governments in other states, they were after implementing the schemes, they were saying that they didn't have the fund, and they were asking for the central government to provide fund to run the scheme. And the chief.
All right, let me also quickly join Rochika Agarwal, BJP spokesperson. She's joining us live as well. Rochika Agarwal, better coordination between the RSS, BJP, obviously work on ground, particularly through schemes like Ladki Bahin scheme. Also, the lack of any counter strategy from the opposition. Are these the factors that are being looked at by your party for your win as well today? Rochika, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some connection issues with Rochika's connection. But Dr. Onika Malhotra, come in here, Congress spokesperson. She's also joining us live. Dr. Onika, clearly, of course, there are a host of issues which have gone wrong for your party in Maharashtra. We were just, delving into some of them, from, of course, the lack of local leaderships connect with ground workers, with people. They've been largely missing in action as a criticism for the last 5 years. It's a state leadership collapse for your party in Maharashtra. You started the campaign late as well. You didn't provide an effective counter to any of the BJP or the Mahayuti's claims. Is a lot of introspection needed for what went wrong in Maharashtra for your party, Dr. Anika?
Well, congratulations on the victory of BJP and its team. Having said that, yes, it has been a disappointment for the Congress. I believe that your analysis cannot be absolutely on the track, because when you say a lack of connect with the people, that's wrong. Congress is always on the street, be it the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Soon after that, we continued with that. And the issues which are relevant were picked up by the Congress, because that was the entire thing of all about Maharashtra. There was a lot of turmoil in terms of the farmers' crisis, the unemployment, price rise. There were so many factors, women's safety. There were immense factors which were there on the ground, and Congress is connecting to it. You see, sir, I would like to tell you here, yes, introspect is needed. After all, results are very much there. Now, whichever way they have manipulated or how they have done, that's the question to be looked into, because immense money has been pumped in. Their General Secretary in charge, Tavare, or I don't know the name of the person, was caught red-handed in the camera. So, sending money after money to the voters or to whomsoever they were trying to lure. So, BJP has always done that. They've opened the treasury when it comes to election. And on the other hand, taking away the industries or the project of Maharashtra to Gujarat. But yes, these are the factors which we felt were relevant. But I don't think so, sir. Butting and cutting that had any impact. Otherwise, it would have had the impact with Jharkhand.
So what has gone wrong then for your party? You tell me, what is your your analysis?
Well, it's surprising. It's actually very surprising, because this cannot be the reality. We still are not able to actually understand
this is the problem with the Congress party, that you don't accept reality. You have to look at what went wrong as well. You have to do introspection. These are all issues that you could raise in the election, but it's not resonated with the voter.
Who's denying that? Introspect is always whether we win or whether we lose. Let me tell you very graciously here. It's not that just because you have lost, we have all the things against the party who has won. No, it's not like that. Obviously, there must have been something amiss in the Congress campaign that has led to this debacle. But to this extent, yes, that's still difficult to believe. So, well, yes.
Do you believe the state leadership is responsible for this, or the national leadership?
It's not the leadership or the connect or stuff like that. We have to see it in totality. We cannot have, one factor putting the blame there. We need to work together to find out what is going wrong. Because 6 months down the line, sir, when we won the Lok Sabha, such a margin in Maharashtra, and suddenly this has happened. And to this extent.
But that happened in Haryana as well, Dr. Anika. That happened in Haryana as well. Obviously, lessons have not been learned. Let me quickly bring in Priya Sehgal, editorial director of NewsX. Priya Sehgal. Now, interestingly, we are seeing in Jharkhand, the alliance has worked very well there, with the JMM Congress combine winning. Unfortunately, the same opposition alliance, the India alliance, has not done the same in Maharashtra, where we see a decimation of their, three factions. We thought Sharad Pawar could be the fulcrum. He's fallen to just 10 seats right now. The Congress party is even trailing the Uddhav faction, even though they contested on more seats. So their strike rate has been abysmal. The two states tell a story of two alliances, but completely different prospects, Priya.
Exactly, Uday. And there, I think it comes on to identifying a credible local leadership. In terms of Jharkhand, there was Hemant Soren. And also there is a pro-incumbency trend in both the states. That is also something which we can take into account. But Hemant Soren, at least there was a leader. Congress has played a supporting role. It was not in a leadership position in either of the states, honestly. The fact that Rahul Gandhi didn't campaign so much in Maharashtra tells its own tale. We had KP Singh Deo telling us a little while ago, Uday, that the score is 2-2. The India alliance has won J&K and Jharkhand, while the BJP and NDA has won Maharashtra and Haryana. But that's not quite, it's not such simple mathematics also. Secondly, the Congress can't take credit for any of the wins, because they are in a supporting role in both J&K. In fact, J&K, they just about made their mark. And in Jharkhand also, it's really Hemant Soren's leadership, the sympathy factor for the fact that he was jailed, and his chief ministerial track record that was on display. In Maharashtra, there was no clear leader from the Congress side. They gave the leadership mantle really to Uddhav Thackeray, and fair enough, when you don't have a strong leader, it is good alliance politics to give it over there. But I think in Maharashtra, the lesson is really to the battle of inheritors versus disruptors, and the disruptors have won. You had Eknath Shinde take away the party from the inheritor or the legacy politics of Uddhav Thackeray, and he's emerged as a true heir apparent to Bala Saheb. Ditto for Ajit Pawar. Sharad Pawar wanted to give the leadership on a platter to Supriya Sule. Ajit Pawar has been the disruptor over here, even though he is a dynast, but he wasn't the chosen one. He has walked away with the party over there. So the voter in Maharashtra really has voted for not for the same old legacy politics, but for gumption, for inventiveness, for a new age paradigm and a new age politics. You can say that is it reform oriented or is it welfare schemes that have told the tale, because Eknath Shinde has talked about not only the Ladli Behan but also the project, the Atul Setu, the metro, the the Worli ceiling that they've undertaken. So, and the fact that they brought FDI back to Maharashtra. So they've been talking about what they've been doing on deliverance. I would say this is really, though we would like to put them both together, it's not the same silos. There are different paradigms of both the states. But yes, as you said, one alliance worked in one state and the alliance did not work in the other state. Score is 2-all, but as we know, optics is not so simple as mathematics. So the BJP is going to really walk away with a win when they walk into parliament on Monday.
Yes, interestingly, because these were two states, Haryana and Maharashtra, where the BJP did suffer losses in Lok Sabha. But they've been able to reverse that in the span of this year itself. 2024 has not ended, and they have obviously reversed the optics and the perception that they are going down in these two particular states where they lost seats. Interestingly, in Rajasthan as well, another state where, and Uttar Pradesh, let me add both these states, where again there were losses. They have managed 7 out of 9 in UP in the by-polls and 5 out of 7 in Rajasthan. So in terms of reversing optics, BJP has done well in the span of this year of 2024 itself. Alok Mehta, editorial director of India News, let me quickly bring you in here. On Alok Mehta, again, what do you believe are the factors that went so right for Mahayuti? Because this is a sweep. This is not just a win for their alliance. This is a sweep. When you decimate the other party to just about 40 odd seats out of 288, and those are 3 parties combined, then that's saying something, Alok Mehta. What went so right? Is it the RSS that can also be given a lot of credit for this? Because many believe that the RSS was not working so cohesively with the BJP in the Lok Sabha election, which is something that has changed in Haryana earlier, but also now in Maharashtra.
Udayji, certainly RSS is there because it's a Nagpur-based organization since long, 100 years they are completing. But I differ with this concept that the BJP and RSS, they were fighting each other or maybe not sabotaging something. RSS was not sabotaging. The overconfidence in UP damaged, that's why the seats they lost in the last election. And other states also, whenever they have the more confidence, like a ahankar, what we call it in RSS language itself. So I think not the RSS, this time also in Haryana, the corners meeting, 16,000 corners meeting only in Haryana. Imagine in Maharashtra how many they did. I don't have the exact number. So these kind of small, big meetings just give an atmosphere for the workers and for concentration for women voter. Then the local leadership, Fadnavis, Gadkari, or other leaders, but other side, you see, Eknath Shinde was the real lieutenant of from Bal Thackeray days and then for Uddhav Thackeray. Ajit Pawar was also lieutenant, he was the real, he wanted to be a chief minister at the time with Sharad Pawar, and then they said no, Supriya Sule will be leader for the party. So I think this field work and the programs, implementation, Eknath Shinde was working field since long, years. And that's why the credibility of the Eknath Shinde. Then the Prime Minister Narendra Modi says, "Ek hai to safe hai." These kind of slogan, especially in Maharashtra, work because even the UP, 86% Muslims are there, and even then the BJP won in the small assembly seats. These kind of miracle only happen when you have for everybody. You want to do something, development schemes, and the promises we can implement. Last point about the small farmers. You see, everybody was, senior editors, I am not naming them, they were moving around and saying, okay, they are losing in Vidarbha, Marathwada, soya bean, kapas. You see the small farmers in Madhya Pradesh, because at that time also I was talking in NewsX and our channels in news, that the small farmers are real voters. And the small farmers, what they benefit, even in Haryana. See, Haryana and Punjab, they were fighting against BJP, but even then, because the small farmers voted for BJP. So, small farmers, because they get benefit, even this Kisan, they have the law, they change or withdrawn, but I think still people want it, because still Tata's companies and the Reliance, they are going in the field purchasing. Maybe it's not the field, but at least they are purchasing from the farms.
Yes.
So people want this kind of help from the government. This is the reason. That's why they won. And in Jharkhand, because the Shibu Soren and Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, they were fighting. It's not a victory for the Congress. It's a victory for Hemant Soren and his party.
Okay. Gautam Mukherjee, let me quickly draw you in here. In fact, that's what many are saying, that in Jammu Kashmir as well, it was a victory for the NC. And of course, the Congress piggybacked on the NC, and now you're saying they're piggybacking on the JMM as well. Onika might disagree with that, but Gautam Mukherjee, let me quickly draw you in here. Gautam Mukherjee, do you feel somewhere also, the voters of Uddhav Thackeray believe that they've been ideologically betrayed as well? Do you believe the core ideology voters of the Shiv Sena have shifted away from the Uddhav faction, which has led to these dwindling numbers?
Well, partially that is definitely the case, though there is a lot of loyalty to Bala Saheb, which was, offered to Uddhav for a long time, except that he kept diluting Bala Saheb's message and not developing his own. He didn't really have a message. He was playing second fiddle to Congress. There's that famous picture with him bowing down to the waist to Rahul Gandhi. It was creepy as far as the Maharashtra voter went. What happened to the spine of the Uddhav Thackeray faction? And Shinde, on the other hand, didn't speak as much, he looked humble, he behaved in a consistent manner, and he kept his flock together. He got on well with his alliance partners. There was very little friction that was at least visible from the outside. So all of that has in fact positioned him. He's also done very creditably in terms of the elections with over 57 odd seats. And he will be the next chief minister again, as a consequence of the handling of his faction, which I would say is the true Shiv Sena now, with the Uddhav faction slowly fading into the mist. It'll either, disappear altogether, rather like Sharad Pawar's NCP, or they will have to merge and do something or the other to try and come back into. The other problem was this fractional messaging of promoting minorities at all costs. It was offensive to the Maharashtra voter, and a very interesting set of news reports showed that the Muslims themselves in Muslim majority areas were voting less, while most of Maharashtra voting percentages have increased. All the Muslim heavy districts, they voted less. And one speculation, one statement in these reports was that the Muslim men didn't want the Muslim women to vote. So there was, factionalism within factionalism. Normally, you find the Muslims voting en masse. This time, they voted less, 5% less than the others.
Okay. Let me get in Dr. Piyush Joshi as well into the broadcast, who's also live with us now. Dr. Piyush Joshi, as far as the Ladki Bahin scheme is concerned, how big a game changer was it? The women are, of course, the Adhi Abadi as they're called. But do you believe, like it was in Madhya Pradesh, this scheme has been a game changer in Maharashtra as well? Do you believe it is something that has, over the course of the post-Lok Sabha elections, galvanized women to vote in favor of the Mahayuti, which they perhaps didn't in the Lok Sabha polls not too long back?
Well, you see, Uday, it definitely did provide the last nudge because it cannot be ascribed totally to the Ladki Bahin Yojana. It did change the game in Madhya Pradesh as well. I belong to the state of Madhya Pradesh. Shivraj Singh Chauhan announced it with a lot of fanfare, and it did swing the compass in the favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Madhya Pradesh. You know, when it comes to the female voters, if you are returning something to them in the form of either cash or even like Janni Suraksha Yojana.
And these are pictures coming in.
other
JP Nadda, BJP president, has arrived at the BJP headquarters in Delhi. He is being congratulated by various post holders of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So the celebrations beginning there. Slowly but surely in the BJP headquarters there, JP Nadda, BJP president, being welcomed warmly, being of course given flowers there by a BJP organization post holders. Also now you can see spokespersons welcoming him in as well at the BJP headquarters. A smiling BJP president JP Nadda reaching. Remember, shortly we are also expecting Home Minister Amit Shah and Prime Minister Narendra Modi to also reach there at the BJP headquarters. It is of course now become customary after every state elections for this to happen on the evening of the results, and we will be expecting PM also to reach there very, very shortly. But as you can see, the crowds beginning to line up. The leaders of the BJP also, senior leaders present there. JP Nadda being welcomed currently. Yes, Piyush Joshi, back to you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was talking about this so-called Revdi schemes, either we should stop calling them as Revdis and should now clearly be telling them as public welfare schemes. Because if you are done away with corruption, if you are, let's say, keeping your state's budget or national budget in the state of revenue surplus, then probably these are public welfare schemes. However, if your budget is definitely of revenue deficit, then these become Revdi. So it's an important time to redefine the Revdi culture, but definitely the opposition's narrative did not work. It was Gaddar versus Batenge to Katenge, so Gaddar narrative did not work this time. However, one election cannot be enough to ascribe that Shiv Sena UBT has been done away with or NCP Sharad Pawar has been done away with, because from elections to elections things do change. Another election down the corner, let's say a municipality election comes and they again win in those elections, then we will be singing different tunes, won't we? So, but lot of thinking has to be done for the Congress party. I mean, well, I'm a supporter of a healthy opposition. But let me ask Onika, who's the Congress representative here, on a good note, on a friendly note, when was the last time did Congress launch a nationwide Sadasyata Abhiyan or a membership campaign, which was launched with a lot of fanfare by Rahul Gandhi, was conducted simultaneously in each and every state capital? So something has to radically change when it comes to the opposition, not only Congress, every other opposition party. They have to build around one particular narrative. They have to resonate well with the voter, because Maharashtra was the state that actually mattered a lot in the terms of national play. So when we are looking at the national scene, losing Maharashtra, which was opposition's state to win.
Yes. No, it's a big state. It contributes a number of MPs. Onika Mehrotra, please respond to that before I also get in Sandeep Chandra.
Well, we have just done it. And for the Mahila Congress, it was a huge success. We got in Mahila voters, and it's a continuous drive that we do. We just don't do it in the election time. It's round the year. The Mahila Congress came up with a very large, this thing in nationwide it was done. It was not only done in the election going states, sir. It was done regularly. I mean, we've just completed it. So we do the membership drive. That's part of a general process. But more so, I think the narrative, as you rightly said, needs to be more stronger when it comes to the Congress. We do put up things, we do say the facts which are in the ground reality, but they are somewhere overimposed or overshouted by the power that they have. Remember, sir?
Okay, point taken. You don't do everything just for elections. You do it, overall. But obviously more needs to be done is what Piyush Joshi is saying. Okay, let me quickly get in Sandeep Chandra. Sandeep Chandra, as we begin to see now the top leaders of the BJP begin to arrive there at the party office, what bearing is this result going to have on the road ahead? Of course, I'd like your opinion on the X factor as well for the Mahayuti. What do you believe the X factor was for the Mahayuti? What do you believe was the downfall of the MVA? But the road ahead, what impact will this have?
You see, fact of the matter, Udayji, is this, that as far as Mahayuti is concerned, what went right for it was that RSS, aggressively campaigned, and I know the figure, about 70,000 corner meetings took place, big and small. And also what has happened is this, that a very mature leadership of Eknath Shinde went down well with people. Also what happened was that as far as your MVA is concerned, they were far removed from reality. To begin with only, this is a very unholy alliance between Shiv Sena and Congress. If Honorable Balasaheb was alive, he wouldn't have allowed this alliance to take place. And let me also tell you, a course correction was done, when there was when BJP didn't do well in the parliamentary polls, Lok Sabha polls. They did a course correction.
Yes.
And also what has happened is this, that Congress has got more leaders, less workers. BJP has got more workers and less leaders.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a very short break at this point.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.